Hi there folks, RevKev coming to you from New Beginning, live but on tape, so not really live. Okay, so you're a parent and you find out that your son or daughter is using drugs. What do? Well, if they're willing to, you can get them help right away on your own. If not, then you're going to need an interventionist. An interventionist is a person that basically comes in and forces a bottom by confronting your son or daughter that is a substance abuser and helps them see the truth about themselves by helping them to have a moment of clarity, helping them to see how they're affecting the family and everybody that loves and cares about them, so that hopefully they'll be willing to go into detox, go into treatment, and get the help that they need. Now, there are a lot of factors that come into place for you as a family because addiction affects the whole family, not just your loved one that's a substance abuser. Whatever chemicals they're using, whether it's heroin, alcohol, crystal meth, marijuana, whatever it is, or any combination thereof, addiction is addiction. It is a disease of the mind, it's the mental obsession, it's the disease of the body, the phenomenon of craving. When they put the chemicals into their body, they lose the power of choice. And because of this, it creates a malady of the spirit where they do get depressed, and self-centeredness is at the root and shame is at the core. What happens is, because in the substance abuser, where spirit should be at the center of the being, the spirit gets blocked by self-centeredness or harmful self, and because of that, they don't grow the way that they should, emotionally, spiritually, interpersonally, etc., and the basic instincts become out of balance: social, security, sexual, and because of that, income, fears, and resentments, and harms to others, and sexual harms to others. The idea is that we want to help them become spirit-centered again, so that the basic instincts go back into balance and they can deal with the patterns that have caused them to have these fears, resentments, and harms to others, and sexual harms to others, and to see the patterns in their lives where they've been, selfish, inconsiderate, dishonest, and whatnot. So the idea is to give them a wake-up call, to hold the mirror up to their face so that they can see the truth about what they've been doing. When someone is in addiction, they're not thinking about how much they love mom and dad or sister and brother or friends. They're lost in addiction, and they're thinking about getting high and how they can get more drugs and to protect the supply. Don't take it personally. It's not your fault, and it's not that they don't love you. It's just that they're not really focusing on you or thinking about you at that time. As a family, you're going to need help. You probably don't know much about addiction and recovery. There's a lot of professionals out there that can help you. There's also a lot of charlatans and misinformation. So it's important that you go to the right people to get help for your loved one. Now, there's a lot of new information now that they're finding that long-term aftercare is the way to go to increase your chances for success for your family and your loved one, so that they don't relapse. Now, there are family recovery coaches, there are recovery coaches, there are case managers, there are peer recovery coaches, there are lots of different professionals out there that can help you today. Of course, there's counselors, there's therapists, there's treatment centers, there's outpatient, there's residential treatment, of course detoxification centers if needed, and not all substance abusers need detox. It depends on the chemical, how long your loved one's been using, how much they've been using, and what chemicals they've been using. And that really should be determined by a professional. It can be very dangerous. For instance, alcohol is a very dangerous chemical to detox from. Painkillers are a very dangerous chemical to detox from. Opiates, for example, you will need to detox from them. Alcohol, you definitely need to detox from. Now, cocaine, in most cases, you don't need to detox from. Marijuana, in most cases, you don't need to detox from. So, you really need to leave it to the professionals to determine that. And also, the substance abusers themselves often know their own bodies, and they know, when they need to detox professionally or if they've done it themselves. But you don't want to put them in harm's way in any way, shape, or form. So you want to make sure that they get the medical care that they need in that circumstance. I have found in my almost 2 decades of experience in residential that 90 days is the beginning of the jumping off place for success as far as residential programs go. That's when substance abusers really start to have clarity of thought, when the drugs really start to come out of their system and the fatty tissues in their brains, and they really start to have clarity and really have a good foundation of recovery to build a sober life upon. I think anything less than that, the relapse rate is very high. So I like to see people have 90 days to start with in a residential program, and then some real good solid aftercare programming, support system. They need a vehicle to change, and then some sort of support system, be it a fellowship like AA or NA, coaching, recovery coaching, whatever it may be. They need some sort of support system to support that change, and a vehicle to change, like, for instance, a program, whether it's the 12 steps or whatever modality they may choose. There's several out there now, and they're going to need to choose the one that they want to work, that they will work, and that they're willing to work. And there's a lot of different tools that they can utilize, of course, journaling, meditating, praying, utilizing a coach, and there's different activities with that, anger logs, anger management, the family coaching for the family. There's different life coaching skills and activities along with that too. There's different skills that they can utilize in talking with the different types of coaches. Also, another addiction that is growing these days is pathological gambling. Young people are getting into that more and more as casinos are popping up all over the country, in most states these days, and lotteries and horse races and jai alai, and the different ways that people can gamble. It's getting more prevalent throughout the country. And sex addiction, and there are just many forms of addiction, and have to watch out for transferring addictions when someone is in early recovery as well. And people can get addicted to just about anything: shopping, accumulating credit, love, codependency, really just about anything. I would encourage families to get the support that they need to help them. Families Anonymous and Al-Anon are good fellowship support systems for the family, and they have programs to help facilitate change for them as well. And there's just a lot of help out there today, and these programs do work, and the fellowships that help support really are great avenues for you. Recovery does work. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of people that are in long-term recovery today. A lot of people just don't know it because of the anonymity. I know in my own family there was 5 people that utilize the 12-step program, and there's over 120 years of recovery just in my family alone, and I've known hundreds of people over the years that have had long-term recovery, some good friends. And I've also known people that didn't make it, and they're generally people that chose not to give it a chance, and it's not that the program didn't work, it's that they didn't work the program. And the 12 steps aren't for everybody. There's different programs out there, and they can try different modalities and see what works for them. So there is different types of help, and science has made great progress in addiction recovery, and there are definitely leaps and bounds ahead of where they were years ago as far as neuroscience and some of the different sciences and the clinicians and things we didn't know about years ago, the changes in the brain that happen and in the body and whatnot. So that's just a little information for you on addiction and recovery today. So that's going to be it for today. So thank you for listening. This is RevKev, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.